Hey everyone, Reid Henrichs of Valor Ridge, and this is my response to the acting president of the United States, Joe Biden, about his vaccine mandate. Let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, I'm speaking to the American people as individuals, not as groups. I'm speaking to you directly as a person who has sacrificed for this country, who's worn uniform in defense of this country, who served communities of people to protect them against violent criminals, and who has educated young people as a teacher and college professor, and lastly, have lived the American dream of starting and maintaining and running a successful firearms training company. If you check the box of everything somebody's supposed to do in the United States of America, not because of me, because of the Lord's grace, I've done those things. And because of my background and upbringing and belief in the foundation of this country, which is limited government and individual liberty, what I have witnessed over the last 7.5 months out of this administration is nothing short of appalling. This individual who is the acting president of the United States is not acting like a president. He is mimicking a dictator. His administration is absolutely tyrannical and unjust. The people in his cabinet positions are mentally insane. He does not understand the concept of limited government or legislation. He does not understand that the government of the United States' role is to protect individual liberty. And they are using the current climate of fear and false information and preying on people's weaknesses in order to advance an agenda that is un-American. His recent proposed plan on mandating a vaccine for COVID-19 should absolutely wake you up if you are one of those few remaining people still asleep. I'm talking to people of all generations, to include the baby boomers, my generation, which is Gen X, the ones that came after me, which is the millennials, and the ones even younger than they are. I'm talking to you because during your entire lives, some of you may not have paid attention to a lot of the things happening. Well, it's time to start. To begin with, we're living in a post-legislative society when people from all levels of government, whether that's your local, your state, or your federal government, no longer follow a legislative path. They rule by decree, executive order, and emergency fiat. This is not the American way. This is exactly what our founding fathers broke away from when we decided to leave Great Britain and declare our independence. This is exactly the kind of behavior that our founders understood was the rule of most countries. The United States has been an exception over the last 200 plus years. We have, allegedly, a sitting president who is supposed to unite people, but what he did last night was point his finger at any political opponent that he had, and in sum said the following thing. He said that the unvaccinated cost us all. And he's supposed to be the uniter in chief. He's supposed to be the guy that 81 million people in this country voted for to unite. Now, if it weren't so sad, it would be funny. So the unvaxxed costs us all? No, there's a lot of people that cost society. The federal government of the United States has no authority to do what that sitting president said that he was planning on doing last night. This government has no authority to do so. This government has no constitutional authority or legitimacy to do what he said he wants to do. Well, now that he's made his decree, this is my challenge. Go ahead and enforce it. See what happens when you push people that have been long patient, that have been long suffering under this Leviathan federal state that has emerged over the last 150 years. Go ahead and try to enforce it. After getting their butts whooped in a 20-year war in a Stone Age society by thousands of people with AKs. What do you think will happen when you try to do this with millions of Americans, many of whom have military service, many of whom have formerly served in law enforcement, many of whom seek to be proficient with the use of firearms and are just simply tired of these power grabs? What do you think will happen if they try to enforce this? No, a lot of people are afraid. A lot of people are frustrated and angry. I see our greatest opportunity to recalibrate this country, to right the ship, to stare it down, to look tyranny in the face, and back it down to the depths of hell from which it came. And we're in a special time of year. We're in the 10 days of awe. People who are familiar with the Bible will know that that's the time between Yom Teruah and the time of Yom Kippur, where we're supposed to reflect on our duties. We're supposed to reflect on our relationship with the Creator of heaven and earth. We're supposed to reflect on who and what we are. Our founders understood that our Creator gave us these rights of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, and they understood that our blessings came from Him. And what was noticeably absent from our sitting president's speech last night at the end of it was, what was noticeably absent was God bless the USA. That was not spoken. Moving forward, we have to look this stuff down. We have to stare down these evil, vile, despicable people in the federal government who would enforce this. And do not let fear creep into your heart or your mind. They are the ones that live in an environment of fear. They are the ones that live in an environment of control. They are the ones that live in an environment of insanity. And we, the people of the United States, are, were, and always have been the keepers of this nation, its liberties, and we will continue to move it forward. And make no mistake about this. All enemies, foreign and domestic. And in the 20th anniversary of September 11th tomorrow, we are at much greater risk from our own government than we ever were from any terrorists. This is Reid Henrichs of Valor reminding you, the lessons that we learn are written on the tombstones of others. We'll see you on the ridge.